It's time for Whose Take Is That Anyway?
Hello everyone, welcome to Whose Take Is That Anyways? I'm your host, Esfandiar Baraheni, and the playoffs are here. We are in the middle of round number one. With that being said, we've decided to put some of the most illustrious guests out there on the Raptors verse to get them to test for obstacles and quizzes that will challenge even the most creative. Our panelists / contestants today are Robel and Oren, who are both trying to get the dub after failing to do so a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully, gentlemen, better starts this time. Imman from the Dishes and Dimes podcast, who supposedly is going to retire from Twitter because of a troll. I heard that, so I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. Regardless, Jerome Cheng, Mr. Jerome Cheng, who is producer of many works out there at MLSC, who I messaged on LinkedIn a while ago for coffee. So Jerome, I'm still looking to go for coffee, by the way. I'm just saying. Just put it out.
I need to log into my LinkedIn.
Yeah. Whatever kind of coffee you're down for, just hit me up. I'm totally
done.
Anyways, before we get into it, I'll give you guys a brief explanation of our rules. Our contestants are going to go through 5 different rounds of competition. If we end up in a tie, there will be a sudden death round, which I am just hoping for. Each round will require specific skill sets to get a point. Each contestant will be given 45 seconds to give an answer. There is no interjecting when a contestant is talking, but you may respond to them with the time allocated to you. There is no repeating arguments. If your argument is taken, you must think of a different answer. There is absolutely no do-overs. And most importantly, have fun with it, get creative, and think of the best response. This is just for you guys to get creative and just have fun with all the stuff that we talk about weekly with Raptors content. So, now that everybody has heard the rules, how is everybody feeling? Are you guys confident that you guys can claim the biggest prize here on Raptors Republic?
I don't feel like we live up to illustrious.
I think I need to go make myself another cup of coffee. I don't think I'm ready for this right now.
It's a lot of pressure.
I feel too.
I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now.
It's okay.
I'm the opposite of the Raptors in round one right now. I'm feeling a ton of pressure right now.
I feel like the Nets.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Nets in game 4. I'm glad you brought that up because the first round is called Swept Under the Rug. In all likelihood, the Raptors are going to be finishing up their first round series against the Nets on Sunday, completing their first sweep in franchise history. Big yay for them. A big moment, considering just 10 years ago, it felt like this team would never even dream of getting into the playoffs, let alone sweeping a team. And while
Don't jinx it. This is very jinx territory right here.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in all that. I don't believe in
we
that.
have to re-record this if this doesn't pan out the way we're planning.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll just do gentleman's sweep the next episode. It's fine. It'll happen. All right. So, anyways, regardless, a sweep is in the vicinity. We could potentially get a sweep going down. You guys have 45 seconds to give me some of your concerns that you think are being swept under the rug because of all the great play that we're seeing so far from the Raptors in the first round. Okay. It could be any type of issue that you think the Raptors aren't addressing. The choice is yours, but it's going to be an issue that may be kind of concerning moving forward in the playoffs. We will go in alphabetical order, which means Imman, you were up first, followed by Jerome, Oren, and then Robel, you were last on this one. Your 45 seconds starts now.
I think the issue that we're sweeping under the rug is an issue that creeped up a little bit in Game 2, which is the Raptors' half-court offense. We've seen them hit a lot of shots, and Nets aren't a particularly good defensive team, as we've seen. So, looking ahead to the Celtics, who look like they're coming out, Raptors offense in the half-court, I think, is probably the biggest issue right now.
Dang. Okay, well, time to spare. I like it. Short and sweet. Okay. Next up, we have Jerome. Jerome, your time starts now.
I know we got a sweep imminent at the moment, but I feel like we could even be more dominant. And how do we become more dominant? Know what's being swept under the rug? Not enough Stanley Johnson in this series. I want to see him next round getting plenty of minutes, maybe starting about halftime just because it's completely blown out of proportion. So that is what's being swept under the rug right now for me in round one. I'm going to need to see more of that next round. Okay. More domination.
All right, more domination from the Stanimal. Okay, maybe more game winners. I like it.
Secret weapon.
Oren, you're up next. Your 45 seconds starts now.
Well, I think it's going to be matchup dependent, and the Nets haven't really posed any problems. But the one thing I would worry a little bit about is the big men play. I think Mark and Serge have both been underwhelming, and the way the Raptors want to play defense is a very erratic style that depends on quick decision making and guys who can guard the perimeter and get out and contest 3-point shots. And you've seen Mark and Serge both struggle and get blown by multiple times in this series, and I think that Pascal at the 5 lineup is important. I think they're going to go back to it, but I don't think it's the way they want to play, and I think one or both of those guys are going to have to be more consistent.
Right on time, too. 45 seconds on the start. I agree with you. That's probably one of the main concerns that I would probably see as well. But everybody has had good answers so far. Robel, last but not least, your 45 seconds starts now.
Okay, the only real problem I have is why is TLC cooking us? All right, listen, I know he was playing amazing in the bubble. Like, he didn't miss one shot. Like, I've never seen him miss. If he did, I blinked. So, but that is kind of worrisome because we're going against a team in the next series against the Celtics. They have multiple wings that are good. Like, they're just wing talents. They don't really have bigs, but they have wings. So we can't guard TLC, and we're leaving him open for threes. And I know the Raptors the Raptors defense likes letting certain type of players open for threes. We can't do that. We can't leave Jaylen Brown open for three. You can't leave well, you could leave Marcus Smart kind of open for three, but you can't do that when their wing dude, they're skilled. So I feel like that we lost so bad last time because we were letting Jaylen Brown guys like that open, and I can't have that happen. We can't have that happen.
Okay. Very nice, man. This is a tough round because I feel like all of you guys are right, to be honest. And I feel, realistically, the Stanimal is a great argument there, potentially for him to get some playing time. The
barometer is what I'm saying.
The half-court offense is a valid issue that's been happening all season, Imman. I totally agree. Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka are going to be huge in the next series with the Celtics. They need to be a little bit more assertive. And then, TLC with the 3-point shooting, that's going to be a big issue, especially with the Celtics just having a lot of that. Oh, man, this is tough. Okay, I'm going to go with what my gut is telling me, and I'm going to give it to Robel because I agree that the 3-point shooting is going to be an issue here. Robel, you pick up point number 1 for the first round. But listen, guys, don't sweat it, okay? There's tons of rounds to be won over here, okay? Your first round winner, Raptors infused point, in honor of Nick Nurse winning the Coach of the Year. You get a shocked Nick Nurse face as the point for this round, so it'll be on the bottom of your screen over there. You'll see it. But yeah, we'll move on to the second round, and we've talked about the Celtics so far. This round is called the Luck of the Irish. It seems like finally, after years of bickering from both fan bases, the Raptors and the Celtics will meet in the NBA playoffs, and all the arguments, the discussions, they'll be settled. It should be an exciting matchup with each game probably going down to the wire, but the Raptors haven't had the best of luck against the Celtics this season. You guys have 45 seconds to tell me if I should be worried or if we should chalk it all up to the luck of the Irish. You get bonus points, by the way, for trying to do an Irish accent, so that's up to you guys. The first round, the winner is Robel, so obviously, Robel, you get to go first. We will go clockwise. In my view, it goes Robel, Imman, Jerome, and Oren. All right, your time starts now, sir.
So, I'm not hugely worried about the regular season record because at the end of the day, the regular season, you have to take it with a grain of salt, especially if you're a championship team. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I'm worried about is Jason Tatum. Like, Jason Tatum, the skill set he has, it's like he can get to like points where he can be just unguardable, like especially with the pull up threes and stuff like that. So that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. But if we just have OG like guard him while Pascal and Marc Gasol are helping, that would be that would be like lessen my worries when I see that in games. But then I also have to talk about the Nick Nurse.
Time.
Oh my God. My bad.
It's all good, man. Gotta finish up the thoughts. All right, cool. Imman, you are up next. Your 45 seconds starts now. I'm looking for an Irish accent, by the way. 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the Irish accent. I'm also not worried about. I'm not worried about the regular season record. I think years of history has shown us that doesn't actually matter. We've seen the Raptors beat the Cavs and absolutely get swept in the regular season. Also, the Raptors have had a lot of injuries. I think if the Raptors expect to beat the Celtics in the first round, it's going to really come down to the bigs, because we saw Cantor is their backup big when Tice gets fouls out, and Tice is not even. I mean, I feel like Marc Gasol can handle Tice if we just post him up enough. I feel like that's a good series for the Raptors, and I'm not sure that they have the matchup for Pascal. Jaylen Brown did a good job on him, but I think in the playoffs we'll see that just proves to be too. He just proves to be too big, too long, too fast, and probably too good. And I think the Raptors have enough wing defenders to go at Jason Tatum. Okay.
No, I liked it, man. You were just everything possible.
I was trying to come up with like everything in my head at one time. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fit this all in.
Yeah, I'm not good at that, so yeah, that's good.
I've been practicing speaking like Twista for the entirety of my life. So
yeah. Ludicrous. Okay, anyways. Jerome, you're up next. Your time starts now.
Feels almost serendipitous that after all this time building up to a Boston Celtics Toronto Raptors playoff matchup, we have it between Brad Stevens and Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse. So I'm not worried because we have the Coach of the Year. And when it comes to two teams that are very similar in style, you know what? Regular season be damned. You know our guy's got something up his sleeve, so not worried.
Short and sweet again from Jerome, and nice tying it in with the whole Nick Nurse thing. I love that. That was awesome. Oren, last but not least as well, start us off. Your 45 seconds starts now.
The fucking Celtics, I mean, fuck. Okay, that was my best try, but on a serious note.
No, I liked it. Oh, come on.
Serious note, Imman touched on this, but yeah, like, I think who dictates the type of style that's played? Do the Raptors, do they get away playing big, potentially even playing both their big men and dictating the style that they're so good at playing? Or do the Celtics kind of force them to go to Siakam at the 5 and play the small ball style that they are capable of playing, but they don't have many reps doing it, and it would kind of be a guessing game to just depend on that against the Celtics. So that's what I would say. Can the big men stay on the floor and wreak havoc?
Okay, perfectly on time as well. Last time was on the money as well. Oren's got his what is it? The psychological clock.
He has excellent clock management.
Yeah,
he's like runner-up Coach of the Year at this point.
Yeah. Oh man, I think everybody brought up really, really good points. Realistically, I should be giving all of you guys points for this. But at the end of the day, I think someone who fit as much points as possible is probably the winner in this, just because of the amount of points that we got in that 45 seconds of time. Imman, you win round number 2, so it is tied up between Robel and Imman. Now, game's not over yet. We still got 2 more rounds left before we head into that tiebreaker, the tiebreaker that I love. Okay, so this next round, the third round, is called Box and One to celebrate Nick Nurse winning the 2019-2020 Coach of the Year award. I wanted to see how much you guys actually know about our wonderful coach. We will go around in a circle saying true or false to some Nick Nurse facts that I throw out there. If you get one wrong, you're out. Whoever is the last contestant standing wins the round. Get it? Cool. Gotcha. Yes? All right.
Cool. Perfect.
We will start with Imman, obviously, because she won the last round, and we will go in a circle. That circle is Imman, Jerome, Oren, back to Robel at the end. Okay? All right. Let's do it. So, statement number 1. Nick Nurse is from the state of Iowa. Imman, true or false?
True.
That is correct. You are right. Next up, Jerome. He later attended the University of Northern Iowa as a guard. True or false?
False?
That is true. Jerome, you are out. He was a guard, I think, in 1985, 1986. But regardless,
I only found out about his high school coach today. Like, I mean...
College, yeah. That's next year's Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
All right, Oren, you're up next. He spent a lot of time coaching in Europe, mainly in the British Basketball League, coaching the Birmingham Brigade. True or false?
I don't think it's called the Brigade, so I'm going to say false.
You are correct, sir. It was the Birmingham Bullets. Good call on that. Robel, you are up next. Nick Nurse was presented the Coach of the Year award by his former high school coach, Wayne Chandley. True or false?
True.
That is true. You got an easy one there. All right. Back to Imman. His name is Nickel Everton. His full name, is Nickel Everton Nurse. True or false?
False.
That is correct. That it was false. His real name is Nicholas David Nurse.
I was gonna say Nickel is a weird name.
I feel like we would have heard that.
I totally stole that from Jordan Hales. I saw him call him Nickel Everton Nurse. I'm like, I'm gonna throw that stat out there. So.
Shout out Jordan.
All right, next one is we'll go with Oren. Nick Nurse ended up coaching 3 D-League teams: the Iowa Energy, Rio Grande Valley Vipers, and the Raptors 905. True or false?
False.
Yes, you're right. He only coached 2 of those, the Iowa Energy and Rio Grande Valley. All right, back to you, Robel. Although they never crossed paths, Matt Thomas and Nick Nurse have both worked or played for the Iowa State Cyclones. True or false?
True.
True. You are right. In 2010, Nick Nurse was an assistant coach for the Cyclones. All right. Back to you, Imman. One of the most famous Nick Nurse photos is of him carrying a guitar on an airplane. True or false? This is a gimme.
True?
Yeah, I know. This is a gimme. All right, back to you, Or. Nick Nurse has the most 25-point wins in Raptors playoff history. True or false?
True.
True it is. You're right. Okay. Had to think about that one.
That was a
for
guess.
second.
I have no idea.
Robel, back to you. Nick Nurse nearly doubles any other Raptors coach in history, winning percentage-wise. The second coach on the list is Dwayne Casey. True or false?
False.
True. It is true. It is true. The third is Lenny Wilkins, but that is a very, very... That was a tough one. They're really close together. Okay. Back to you, Imman. It's between Imman and Oren right now for the thing. Imman can jump out to a 2-1 lead. This is
Commanding
big.
lead.
A commanding lead. You're right. Nick. All right. We're at Imman now, right? Yeah. Nick Nurse is 3rd all-time amongst all coaches in playoff win percentage. True or false?
False.
False. He is 2nd. You were right. Yes. Back to you, Oren. Nick Nurse is a lifelong Boston Red Sox fan, even being the guest at the 7th inning stretch. True or false?
No, I think it's the Cubs, but false.
You are correct. It is the Chicago Cubs. Back to
You
you,
guys
Imman.
know this, man. How do you guys know this? Like,
We're nerds.
We
You're
love the game.
nerds.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
nerds.
Oh, I might just bring Jerome back in the
Nice,
game for that one. That was
a
good
good
fun.
one. Gotta tweet that.
All right. Where were we on this one? Yes. Okay. Imman, back to you. After they won the NBA championship, Nick Nurse shortly joined the Montells on stage to sing Signed, Sealed, and Delivered. True or false?
False. He joined the Arkells.
That is true. The Montells is a completely fake
Okay.
Okay. Back to you, Oren. Nick Nurse has worked with 2 national teams, the Canadian national team and the Irish national team. True or false?
False.
Yes, you're right. It is the British and the Canadian national team. Oren, killing it. Back to you, Imman. When Kawhi Leonard made his decision to leave Toronto in free agency, Nick Nurse was at a concert watching a Prince impersonator. True or false?
I feel like he was at a concert. I'm going to say true. I don't know who he was watching, but I'll go with true.
Yes,
Okay.
you are correct. Yeah, okay. Back to you. We're getting, I might have to give both of you guys a point here. I'm running out of questions. All right. Oren, back to you. In his time at the University of Northern Iowa, Nick Nurse became the all-time leader for assists. True or false?
True.
That is false. Imman wins the round. That was a tough one. Honestly, it's just like it's a guess at that point. He was the leader in 3-point percentage at 48%. So he was a shooter. Yeah. All right, Imman, you're out to a 2-1 lead. How do you feel right now?
Feel good? I feel like the Utah Jazz. I don't know. I couldn't think of another team that was at 2-1.
All right. It's all good. Feeling jazz-like. Okay. We'll move on to the 4th round. This round is called Around the Hardwood. Yeah, we focus on Raptors and Raptors-themed news here, but I do want you guys to share some of your thoughts on the most interesting stories around the league. I will throw the start of a tweet out, and you each have 10 seconds to end that tweet for me. There will be an opportunity for different types of tweets. You cannot finish the tweet someone else started, but if they don't get it in that 10 seconds in time, you can steal it and finish the tweet. Okay? Since Imman won once again, Imman gets to go at the start again. First tweet of the day. Kawhi Leonard leaving the Raptors only to join Paul George and the Clippers is like blank.
Have my 10 seconds up? I don't know.
Yeah, now your 10 seconds is up.
Okay.
Anybody want to steal?
I blanked. The pressure was on.
What was the tweet again? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll reword it. Okay, Kawhi Leonard leaving the Raptors only to join Paul George and the Clippers is like blank.
It's like going to get gelato, but then finding out the gelato store is closed and then having to settle on corner store ice cream.
Okay, big fan of gelato, I'm assuming, Oren? Okay.
It's better than corner store ice cream, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you the point on that one. We'll move to Jerome. This tweet is for you here. There's only one thing more depressing than being a Philadelphia 76ers fan, and that is blank.
Instagram post by Paul George.
Nice. Nice. Okay. I like that. Back to you. That was a good one. Also acceptable, being a Knicks fan. Being a Knicks fan sucks. All right. I love Danny Green, but we'll have to do this. This one is for Oren. Yes. Danny Green hasn't been playing too well, but let's not be too hard on him because blank.
Because he means well.
Because he means well. Okay, yeah.
That's really sweet.
He's trying. He's trying.
He's doing his best.
Period. But he is being just horrible for the Lakers, and I don't know if they're going to get very far with him as the third best player.
Okay, fair enough. Kyle Kuzma begs to differ. All right. Also acceptable, he has a pet snake that will swallow you whole. So maybe not a good reason to mess with Danny Green. Okay. We are to Robel now? Yeah, Robel. Okay. LeBron James is back to reading books in the playoffs, so here are some recommendations. Blank, blank, and blank. This is a hard one, to be honest, but yeah, go ahead.
I have to give 3 recommendations?
Yeah, but they have to be like funny fake books, not real books. Yeah.
Okay, How to Lie Properly is one. How to Shoot a Basketball from three-point line. Okay. And how to be more aggressive when your team actually needs you instead of holding on. Instead of, how do I say it? Relying on AD all the time.
Okay. All right.
Wow,
okay.
Shots at LeBron, eh?
So many shots. Oh, man.
I'm a KD fan. I'm sorry. I'm a KD fan.
Also acceptable, How to Get a Hairline, Living Without Fans, and Yes, Jules, The Conspiracy. So,
yes, Jules.
so we'll finish off there. I do have one that's up for grabs if anybody wants to take it. Anybody? I have another tweet. Ready?
I'll do it.
Okay. Playoff P is more like blank P.
It's more like poverty P. He's garbage. I'm sorry. I call it as I see it.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. I think. Imman ran out of time. Didn't get the. I mean, look. The last round or a couple rounds ago, you had all the thoughts in the world fit in. Which
I did. No.
I don't know what happened there. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Jerome had some really, really funny tweets. That was awesome. Oren obviously came with the Danny Green and the gelato relation. Wasn't. I'm a big fan of gelato myself. I partake. And then Robel, you had the great suggestions for the LeBron books. This is tough. And I want to go to a tiebreaker. We're going to end up going to a tiebreaker because I think that's what's going to happen. I like Jerome's tweets. I liked Oren's tweets. And I like Robel's tweets. And look, Imman is in the lead. So all 3 of them get points. That's just how it works here on Whose Take Is That Anyways. We're going to a tiebreaker, ladies and gentlemen. All right, but last but not least, this is the final round. This is my favorite part of the show. This is where it all comes together, all right? This round is called I Don't Do Content, I Do Art. You each have 10 minutes to create something basketball-related, Raptors-related, doesn't matter. It could be anything you'd like. You guys are all very creative people. I've explained this to you guys beforehand. There is some kind of stakes here for this, winning the 4th episode of Whose Take Is That Anyways? All right, welcome back, everybody, to Whose Take Is That Anyways? It's going to be an interesting competition here between some of the most creative people I know on Raptors Twitter and Raptors World. It's interesting to say the least. Imman, you technically have the lead here, so I'll give you the opportunity to go first if you'd like to go first.
Can I pass that up?
You can. You can totally.
Okay, I'm passing up going first.
Okay, all right. Anybody else want to take advantage of going first? Jerome, I know you're excited.
I mean, like, I don't even know that it's fair whatever I submit here because I was expecting a tiebreaker to begin with. So I've been sitting here for the greater part of 10 minutes waiting to share. Sure, let's go.
Okay, all right.
I prepared. So for anyone who knows me for a while now, I'm going to turn this off here. So I have been a staunch Kawhi Leonard fan since back to the San Antonio Spurs days. Shout out Noor, Dishes and Diamonds, fellow Kawhi fan. But yeah, so I always would do Photoshop edits, but more recently with him being on the Clippers, it's been more therapy than it has been praise for Kawhi. So I just like worked on a couple for today's episode. So starting off here,
All right.
let's see if this goes. I got sad Kawhi with in the background tending to his shoulder Paul George.
Nice.
And you know, taking these thoughts from the game to his room in the bubble, just feeling all types of ways, just wanting to go back to the better days in the past. So that would be my submission, my creative submission for the time.
That's really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hi.
That's so good. He threw the green screen on too. That's awesome. All right, great.
We're toast.
Yeah, that's tough to follow up, man. That's tough to follow up. Anybody would like to? Think they've got the gem?
I can go.
Okay.
I have the opposite of. I'm not prepared. I'm just gonna go on a little rant because I feel like I have.
Oh my god!
I was gonna need to get out.
Love a good rant.
You could do
I
rant
love a
too.
good rant.
Yeah, I just need to get some
Rants are acceptable.
therapy session right here. So, dear NBA media, I blame you for making me listen to podcasts and read pieces about the Sixers all year when there was never evidence that they were a good team. From early, we knew they were not good. They didn't make sense. They lost all the games away. And you just kept being like, people I trust, like Zach Lowe, I trusted you. And you just kept being like, yeah, they could still turn it around. Yeah, and just gave them 10 minutes every pod. And it's like, you wasted a lot of my time. And fire everyone in Sixers management. They're a mess. Put some shooters on that team and see how it works. It's not that hard to figure out. Bouncing around the league, let's go to the Lakers. I think the Lakers are the frauds, and I think the Rockets are going to beat them in the next round.
Ooh.
Your third best player is Danny Green, who you're tasking with guarding Dame right now. They'll probably get past that. And then who? Is he going to be on Harden? That's not – Danny Green's old, okay? He doesn't – Raptors fans know he lost a couple steps, not even one step, 2 steps. And if you're depending on Kuzma to play a big role in the championship run, I don't know what to tell you. Lakers fans, you got a team of frauds right now going. Kawhi's the best player in the world right now. That's the last thing I have to say.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a poetry thing.
Felt good. Thank you.
That was amazing.
Felt great.
All right, Imman, Robel, whichever one wants to jump ahead.
Imman can go ladies first.
Okay. I have something that I've prepared. It's a poem.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Roses are red, violets are blue. Here's a little poem I wrote just for you. Kyle's a leader, so you'll know he'll take charge, finding Serge in the paint because he knows he does art. And if he misses the mark, you can count on Gasol, who has dishes on the norm to our favorite playoff pal. Speaking of dishes, the spiciest of all, the blessed one himself, it's our favorite Pascal. But you don't need a blessing when you bet on yourself. Freddie VanVleet is no elf on the shelf. He's small in stature, but he guards like a tank. Freddie's steady laughing all the way to the bank. Speaking of little ones, the youngest of all ya, the one called OG moves in silence like lasagna.
Nice.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I was hoping you would like fit in 11-11 somewhere in there. I was waiting for that.
No, I should go back and redo it. Still really mad at the Heat for scoring 109 instead of 111. One basket on a perfect night.
I'm just happy you gave him credit. You gave VanVleet credit for once, man.
Ooh,
I give Fred credit. I think think Fred's great, and I think he'd be a great shooting guard. I just worry about him being your starting point guard on a team. Great shooting guard, though. Lights out shooter. Guard's like a tank.
Pascal's gonna play the one, man. We'll be fine. Pascal's gonna be the one soon. Don't worry.
Okay, if Giannis comes over, I'm fine. I'm fine with you got Giannis, you got Pascal, you got Fred at the one. I'd be fine with that.
So you don't want to re-sign Fred? Is that what I'm?
No, I do want to keep Fred. I just think Fred should be your shooting guard. I think if he's going to be your starting point guard, I worry about your team's offense.
How much are you willing to pay him?
I mean, he's earned a big paycheck.
Right now, it's not looking good for the Raptors management. The way he's playing,
he's earned a big paycheck. He's definitely earned it. But I think he's a great shooting guard, and I think if you have Marc Gasol, you have Kyle Lowry, pay Fred. But if you're looking at him to be the leader of your team's offense in that way, I think he's really great off ball. He's a lights out shooter. I just worry about him as your starting point guard.
I don't think you need to worry because Raptors management has proved that they're gonna put as many playmakers on the floor as possible, and those are the guys they covet. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're gonna mask his deficiencies as a starting point guard, then sure, he can be the starting point guard. You can have Giannis, you can have Pascal Siakam as your start. That's fine. But if we're also looking at him to be the starting point guard and we're expecting him to take all of the point guard duties, I just think he'll struggle with that because he is a shooting guard. That's just his natural position. He's just the smallest man on the court.
I
So
just
we expect him to be the
project
point guard.
roles with Giannis just guaranteed on the team.
Yes, no, we're talking about Giannis and Pascal on this team, and it's Fred VanVleet, perfect point guard for that because he's not going to be tasked with point guard duties. But
I love how I could just stay silent and y'all will just go. This is amazing. This is awesome. Yeah, let's just let you guys talk basketball for hours. Okay, Robel, you're last but not least.
Okay,
go for it.
So I have a rant, but I changed it into convincing you guys. You guys are all Raptors fans, and there has been a certain type of rumor. If people know me, you guys know that I'm the number one LaMelo fan. Now, I'm not here to convince you that you have to love LaMelo Ball, but I'm here to convince you to not say anything bad about him, okay? Because listen, okay? Just hear me out. Because just hear me out. I've watched LaMelo since he was 14, so hear me out. Okay, so we all love OG Anunoby. I still think he has some potential, being more than a 3-and-D player. But at the end of the day, a 3-and-D big wing is slightly less valuable than a primary initiator, okay? So hear me out. We have Fred VanVleet, Imman. You guys all talked about him not being that primary guy. LaMelo is that primary guy at 19 years old. And yeah, we could talk about, his percentages and stuff like that. But I've already ranted about that. I don't need to do that. You guys need to go listen to Essence Podcast for me to just talk about that. But a 19-year-old guy, right, that needs development in the best development structure in the league that's going to add strength to his frame. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit there, and we can unlock his superstar potential. So if that trade happens, would I do it personally? If I was Bobby, would I pull that trigger? I'm not sure. But if that trade happens, I think everyone needs to be open-minded about it. And that's all I'm saying.
Wow. Okay.
I would do it. I think Raptors Twitter kind of went off on that trade, in an unwarranted way. The number 2 pick, but it's a weak draft. Get a lot of assets.
I get the whole.
According to who, it's a weak draft. People say that, but if there's a guy you like who has superstar potential, OG is really good, but he doesn't have superstar potential.
Let me just say
Imman has something to say.
Let me just say, I know. I was looking at Iman's face the whole time, so I was kind of
I got distracted halfway through Robel's speech. I was just watching reactions at this point.
Yeah. So the only thing I'll say is, if we can't get LaMelo, we're not trading that. Let's not trade for the pick. We're only trading for LaMelo. He's the only guy that is worth trading for. So I'm just saying that we're not trading for Wiseman, Edwards, no. So yeah, but I would do it.
Whew, Imman, go for it.
Imman, I need to hear your thoughts, man.
In Messiah and Bobby, I trust. I don't think that's a trade that we're going to see happening. I mean, and granted, I'm sure you've watched tons more LaMelo than I ever have. I've only ever seen clips. So I'm not going, based off of everything I've read about this draft, based off everything I've listened to from draft experts talking about this draft, this is not one you necessarily want to trade into. OG is a 23-year-old player, so it's not like we're trading some guy that we're giving up on. We've seen him sort of grow, and he also fits sort of the makeup of this team. I think you have to look at what type of team are you looking to build. Are the Raptors looking to actually start again from scratch with a 19-year-old and build around a guy who is going to be a complete liability for you on the defensive end and is going to be kind of a streaky shooter and has high upside, but I mean, the floor could, like, it feels like a project that you're restarting, and I think where we, like, Pascal is 26, like, you know what I mean? Fred VanVleet's 26, like, are we actually looking at building this team as in, like, right now they're winners, or are we starting and focusing on bringing in a 19-year-old and fitting the team to mask his now weaknesses and his liabilities and develop him? I just feel like, sure, he might be a great prospect, but are the Raptors really in that mode, or are they looking to pick up Giannis? Are they looking to compete in the next few years, or are they looking to restart around 19-year-olds who high upside? Okay, I heard the same thing about Lonzo, and like I don't particularly like this draft. Everything I've heard has told me this is not the draft that you want a number 2 pick in, and OG is not some old guy that we're giving up on. Granted, he might not have the highest upside, but who even knows if we're getting that with LaMelo? Masai and Bobby, I trust, and I don't think that this is a trade that they would make. Nothing in sort of their repertoire has told me that they're the type of they're very prudent GMs and presidents, and this doesn't seem like a very prudent move. So I don't think it's one that we're gonna see the Raptors making. I'm glad that it's one that, like, guys on Twitter feel very excited about. I just don't think it's one that, like, the guys in suits upstairs are actually ever going to make. So I feel comfortable in saying it's not happening.
I swear this is the tweet that someone told you to get off Twitter about.
Oh, I didn't even read that. I'm pretty sure that person, like, followed me and was like, yeah, it's not following back. But, like, whatever. Yeah, like, trading for LaMelo, we've heard the same things. Like, guys get really excited about these young prospects, and it's like, okay, if it's not Zion, if it's not Luka, I'm not interested. And the number 2 pick.
That hurt my heart. But the only thing I'll say is if Masai and Bobby think they have a realistic chance, like, I know we all think we do, but if they think, they obviously know stuff we don't know about. If they think they have a realistic chance to get Giannis or just a guy that just fits in, like a superstar level player, then don't trade for LaMelo, obviously.
But right? I'm not even just saying that. Like, I agree with that. I'm not even just saying that. I think it's more so, like, what we've seen from the Raptors, even at a point where the Raptors could have blown it up and restarted before. Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster's, well, I guess before even Bobby Webster became the general manager, Masai Ujiri's plan was, we're going to make this team as competitive as can be. So when a superstar becomes available, we can easily slot them in. It's never been about starting from scratch. It's always been about developing guys and maintaining a solid win pace and projection, and not really starting with, like, hey, having a 19-year-old and making him sort of commandeer everything. And I just feel like it's just a huge shift away. But if Bobby and Masai think that LaMelo is going to be some sort of superstar player and actually think that they have the tools to develop him, then but I don't know that I believe that about LaMelo.
This is the second rumor, right? This is the second rumor we've heard about Raptors trying to go for LaMelo because they were looking at him in Australia, and then I think it was what was the trade they had? Was Lowry to Philly, and then Ben Simmons to Golden State, and then LaMelo goes to. It was a crazy trade like that. But, I mean, I think it is a lot to do with trajectory as well, just in general, what's going to happen in the next couple of years. What are they gearing up for, right? And I love how we kind of got into a real basketball conversation here, even though I don't do content. I do art. I do art, ladies and gentlemen. Art. Okay, but I'll move us back to our conversation here. I loved what we just talked about, which is just all about what this show is about. It's getting to know one another, getting to know each other's opinions and everything about that. I have to make a decision now about who wins. And it's a hard decision because all of you guys really came with it today. I feel like every week I say that, but this week it's extra true that you guys really came with it. Imman, you had a great poem. I'm going to title the poem 1111. It makes sense. It only makes sense. Oren with an awesome rant, just destroying the entire league, specifically the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then Robel, you came with the hot take and you defended that thing And I respect that. I really, really respect that. That's an awesome thing to do. And then Jerome, my guy, actually came with the art, with an art piece of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and him missing Freddie Vanderlei. This is tough. This is tough, man. This is tough. Anybody want to give me a suggestion as to who should win?
I vote Imman. I'm sorry, yeah, because the favorite one was obviously the memes, but bro, I had like 2 minutes. I had 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, this wasn't a 10-minute job. I'm not even gonna try to that one. No, I definitely like Imman's poetry.
Okay,
and like the length too, like it was long.
It's like the combination of Oren Rebel and like the rant, but like adding the art on top because it's poetry and it rhymed. I mean, it rhymed.
Yeah,
right.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Okay. Well, it looks like Oren, would you like to give us your input?
I agree. The poem was really good and the art was really good. But if it took more time, then that's just a decision you're gonna have to make.
Okay, trying to swindle. I see.
I don't want the pressure. It's on you.
Oh man. Okay, fine. The pressure is on me. You're right. I have to make those type of decisions at the end of the day. It is whose take is that anyways. We're gonna do it. We're gonna give it to Imman. Imman is the winner for the episode number 4 of Whose Take Is That Anyways. Imman, would you like to say anything as the winner? The Republic has spoken. You are the winner.
I'd like to thank Freddie Vanderlei, and Kyle Lowry, and Marcus Sol, and Dishes and Dimes. Everyone, please, can I plug Dishes and Dimes a little bit? Check it out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Check it out, All Women's Podcast. I'd like to thank all of the lovely hosts of Dishes and Dimes who made this win possible.
I'm glad you brought the plug situation because I do want everybody to kind of plug what they're working on. Jerome, anything you'd like to plug while we're here?
Can I co-plug Dishes and Dimes? Sign up a Patreon. If you got any expendable cash in the month, I know it's hard time.
Why is he better at plugging the podcast than I am?
Nice. Okay, a cosign on the podcast. I appreciate it. Rebel, Oren, anybody else want to?
I am gonna be a follower, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm also gonna plug my own stuff. Go listen to Dishes and Dimes. Do it right now. And if you want to listen about the draft, I have a draft episode there. I was on this
great with Yasmin.
Dimes one. Yeah. So go listen to that about Raptors prospects. Oh
I walked into my mom listening to it, and I was like, "Do I hear Yasmin's voice?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you learning about the draft?" Okay.
Yeah. So go listen to that one too. But yeah. Let me just plug my YouTube channel real quick.
Yeah.
I make videos about high school prospects, NBA draft prospects, and NBA players. Made a video about OG. Made a video about LaMelo, our favorite player in the world. And just other guys. I'm just gonna be posting about once a week, and it's called Sub Me and Coach, and I want you to go subscribe to that. So yeah.
Really, really dope channel, man. Really, really dope channel. And really dope podcast. You guys know I love the Dishes and Dimes podcast. Oren, plug away. Do you think?
No, yeah. Once again, Dishes and Dimes is dope. I've given it a few listens. Definitely follow them, listen, and follow me on Twitter. I'll have some Raptors content coming out in the next week at Oren Weisfeld.
Cool. Very, very cool. Everybody plugging away their stuff. I hope I can plug away the fact that you should listen to this show. All right? It's a fun show to listen to. All right? Whose take is that anyways? We do game shows and all that stuff for Raptors people and Raptors Twitter. Thank you very much to everybody that has come on and debated and discussed and LaMelo balled themselves to death here today. I appreciate you. Thank you to Imman. Thank you to Rebel. Thank you to Jerome. Thank you to Oren. You guys were all amazing. The Republic has spoken, Imman. You are the winner. As always, guys, go ahead and like the Raptors Republic YouTube channel and do subscribe if you guys wish. And at the end of the day, let's go Raptors. Let's go get that sweep.